Hello there. Today we'll be working on my 2020 Road Glide. I got the transmission fluid, primary fluid, and my oil. Today I'll show you guys how I do it. Hopefully it helps you guys out. So this is the M8 114 model 2020 Road Glide. So it's pretty much the same. You got to make sure your temperature's up right around the neighborhood or so. Take it on the freeway. And then first thing you want to do is remove your dipsticks. So this one right here is for the oil. Okay. And then this one right here is for the transmission. So now what's going to happen is when I remove the bolts, it's going to drain easily. It's kind of hot, so forgive me. All right. All right, so right here is my oil drain plug, and right here I believe is the transmission, and straight across is going to be the primary. I believe that's my transmission. Now I'm going to keep the camera where it's at, and then I'm going to go to the other side and I'm going to remove the primary bolt. Now they're all the same size, these bolts, so they'll fit just right on the part of the pipe. That's the primary. All right, you might want to come on this side. You're going to notice how it's a lot dirtier than the other sides. That's because when you're shifting gears, the metal breaks down. So you could already see it's kind of like lighter, like whiter. So the transmission was a lot cleaner. The oil was a lot dirtier. So now what we're going to do is we're going to remove this derby cover. So I'm going to leave the top one on first, and I'm going to remove these bolts. So in that box, I went ahead and got the oil kit. It's going to have all my gaskets, and I actually got a cool funnel where I could pour the oil into that. So I'm going to put this in a safe place. Boy, it's kind of dirty. I need to upgrade that pretty soon. Right, so my oil kit came in the mail, and came with these products right here. It should be 5 quarts of oil, 1 quart of primary fluid, 1 quart of transmission fluid. I think the primary fluid is labeled gear fluid. Right. It's pretty neat. I never received a box from Harley Davison before. So here's my gaskets. Okay. And then the oil. Spark plugs. Oh man, I didn't even forgot that I got spark plugs. Got this one in chrome. It's going to be exciting. All right, so the fluids have pretty much flushed out. What I'm going to do now is get those drain bolts and clean them off. You're going to see little metal shavings on them, just like that. And I'm going to put a new gasket right there. Hit it with the wire brush a little bit. Like so. Then got my little pick. And voila, that's one. Looks like this is the one for the oil. Just want to clean it off, get a good seal, get all that old gunky stuff off. And this one's the one for the primary. New gasket. Then this one right here is for the derby cover. We'll do that one later. So now, now that most of the fluid has already drained out, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just plug up these holes. This one right here is for the oil. Notice I'm tightening it hand tight. Right, we'll pull out the ratchet when we need it. Been doing this for so long, I don't need to what do you call that? I don't know what it's called. Can't think. Right here, I'm trying to do the transmission one. More space. So now, once I tighten these, there shouldn't be no more like fluid leaking with the ratchet. It's cool right there. Oh, I was going the wrong way. Craftsman. All right. So now what I'm gonna do is walk on over to the other side. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, I'm gonna walk on over to the other side. All right, so now what we're gonna do is plug up the primary. So that should be somewhere right here. There it is. So here we go, new gasket, nice and clean. Hand tight, and then just an extra little that's when you know it's snug enough. Got my 5/8. Just give it that quarter churn. Done. So now we're gonna go over to the derby cover. So follow me this way. Now, you got to remember, whenever we're working on the bike, you got to make sure you stay hydrated first. All right, so right over here, we got the derby cover. We're going to remove this one. Comes off like so. On some bikes, you have to hold it in place. This one actually fits snug in there. So when I put these on, we're going to start with this bolt to hold it in place. Then we're going to go in the star pattern. Okay, there you get that perfect seal. So here we go. All right, so we got here the gear oil. So I just found out this one goes on the transmission and it goes on the primary, which is easy. So here we go. This is our little funnel. According to the manual, it's gonna leak out right here when it's full. Then we'll put the derby cover on. almost there yet, so I'm going a little slow just to kind of see my levels. All right, it's leaking on its own. So I'm not sure if you can see that, but that's exactly where I want to be. Okay, so it's level with the trim. So now we're going to put the derby cover back on. Now we're going in the star pattern, just how you would when changing the tire. All right, so now we're gonna button them down. I want to double check my work. Removing the excessive oil. Okay, primary filled with gear oil. That's pretty much everything. There's only like a couple drops. So we'll go ahead and put that aside. Actually, my oil filter's right over here, so I might as well take care of that now. Now with the oil over here, all right, so I went ahead and stuffed it with paper over here because when I remove the filter, it's gonna make a mess. Sometimes you might even see a little bit of leak like after you start driving it, and that's gonna be that residual oil that just kind of sat in there. Now this thing Harley sells, it kind of like captures a lot of it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, just depends. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and remove the filter. Here we go. So as you can see here, it's capturing a lot of the mess. so this is that like mess that I was talking about. It kind of just like clumps up in there. You might think you have an oil leak, but it's just, you know, when they designed this motor, it's kind of hard to get to the filter and, you know, keep tidy in there. So you also want to make sure too that, you know, like the gasket didn't get stuck behind. You want to kind of like clear the thread area. All right, so here's my new oil filter. I went with chrome this time. I'm gonna go ahead and like fill it like halfway, quarter of the way. Now with the excessive amount that spilled over, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the barrier or a gasket. Also want to get that thread on the inside. That way it's nicely lubricated. Okay. Kind of like the way the chrome filter looks with the black motor. Kind of gives it that little pop. All right, so that's hand tight. So what I'm going to do now is just button it down with my ratchet. If I could get this thing off. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to top off the transmission with the gear oil. And then over here, we're going to put in the 5 quarts of oil. So here we go. We'll let that drain. Alright, that's pretty much it. So now we want to plug this hole up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to button up everything. After I finish, take it for a ride, then recheck my levels. Alright. Next is the oil. We're going to do about 4.5 quarts. So at this one, we're going to stop about halfway. That should do it. All right, so that's 4.5 quarts. Take it for a test run, recheck the fluids. All right. All right, so I want to take this opportunity to thank you guys for watching my video. This is how you do the 3-hole maintenance flush at home. Leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you for your time.